Welcome everybody. Today we are going to start with questions. These questions are to remember. Okay? So, answer the questions please. What is the auxiliary verb for yes, no questions? Very good. Yes. The auxiliary verb is do and does for yes, no questions. Very good. Next question. What is the auxiliary verb for negatives? You remember? Very good. Don't and doesn't. Very good. Okay. Next. What's the form of the principal verb with negatives and questions? What is the form of the principal verb with negatives and questions? Simple form. The verb, the main verb, the principal verb is always in a simple form in negatives and questions. Very good. Next. What do we express with simple present? We express routines. Very good. Okay. What's the auxiliary for he, she, and it? Does. Very good. The auxiliary is does. Next one. What's the auxiliary for you? I, you, we, and they. Very good. Do. Auxiliary is do. Okay. Very good. Now, we have studied yes, no questions. And these questions just ask for an affirmative or negative answer. So, for example, do you like pizza? Yes, I do. Do you like pacayas? No, I don't. Okay, very good. Now, there is another type of questions. These questions are called information questions. These questions ask for complete information. Okay? So let me give you an example. Answer the questions with a yes or no. Okay? Just a yes or a no. What's your name? Where do you live? How old are you? It's not possible to answer with a yes or no, right? Very good. So in these cases, we are going to be using information questions, and the answer is a complete sentence. Okay, let's check some examples and the structure of these information questions. Okay. When we make information questions, we are going to use first question word. In this case, what? Second, the auxiliary verb. In this case, we are going to use do because the subject is you. Okay? And then, after this, we use the verb in simple form and the complement of the sentences. Okay, very good. Remember, the verb in simple form. Then we have the question word where, auxiliary does because the subject is he, and the complement. Okay? Question word when, auxiliary do because the subject is we, the complement with the verb in simple form. Very good. Okay. Next one. Why, the question word why, auxiliary does because the subject is she, the complement with the verb in simple form, the main verb in simple form. Then we have how, auxiliary do, and the subject you. Okay, and the complement with the principal verb in simple form. And we are going to have the last one, who. And then auxiliary verb, subject, and the complement with the verb in simple form, play. Now, something interesting about these questions with who. In Spanish, we say, for example, con quién, right? We use that word, con, at the beginning of the sentence. But in English, no. In English, that little word, we are going to use it at the end of the sentence. So we say, who do you play soccer with? We never say with who. No. Who do you play soccer with? Very good. Okay. So now, how do we use the question words? We know the structure of the question words, but what about the question words? What, where, when, why, how, who? How do we use these question words? Let me explain you with this. So if you want or you need information about things or activities, you use what? Things or activities. If you want information about place, like country or city or any other place, we use where. When you want information about time, we use when. For information about reason, the reason for doing an activity, we use why. If you want information about form or manner, you use how. And if you want to know about people, you want to know the person, we use who. Very good, okay. So let's do some examples with this information. Let's complete the questions with question words. What do you think? Do you live? Okay, he's asking about the place. What is the question word for place? Where? Okay. Number 2, do you study English? Okay, so this has different options depending the context. But here we're going to use why, the reason. What is the reason you study English? Next one. Do we have class? Okay, so this has different answers, context as well. But we are going to use when. When do we have class? Okay, it's asking for the time or the moment. Okay, very good. Next one. We have, do you say thank you in Spanish? Okay, it's asking for the manner, the form. So we use how. Next one. Does Maria come from? It's asking for place, so we use where. Where does Maria come from? Next one. Does James do in his free time? Okay, it's asking for an activity. What activity the person do? So we use what. Number 7. Does the game start? I was asking for time. When does the game start? Very good. And number 8. Does your mom work with? Because we have with, we know that it's asking for person. So it's who. Who does your mom work with? Very good. Okay. Next. Here we have a conversation. Okay, let's complete the conversation. Oh, we have the question and it's not complete, and we have the complete answer. So number 1, the answer says, I play tennis. Okay, so it's asking for an activity. And then we're going to use what. What do you do after school? I play tennis. Number 2, at the sports center. Okay, this is a place, right? So we have to use where. Oh, where do you play tennis? Very good, okay. Number 3, at about 6 o'clock. It's asking about time. What do we use? When. When do you do your homework? At about 6 o'clock. Very good, okay. 4, because it's my favorite place. Because. What do you think? Very good. Why? We always going to answer why, because when we have the question why. Always. If you have why, the answer because. Very good. Why do you play soccer in the park? 5. I study with my friends. I was asking for people, right? So we use who. Who do you study with? Very good. And number 6, I take the bus. Time? No. Place? No. It's asking for form, manner. How do you get here? I take the bus. Very good. Okay. So guys, with this, we finish with this part of the grammar. Okay, I will see you in our class. Have a nice day. Bye.